In this video, we're going to learn about Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, also known as WCAG. The Web Content Accessibility Guidelines are published by the Web Accessibility Initiative, a division of the World Wide Web Consortium, which is the main body of standards for the web. WCAG 2.0 and later are organized around four principles of web accessibility: perceivable, operable, understandable, and robust. Each principle has guidelines, and each guideline has a number of success criteria associated with it. For each success criterion, there is a conformance level. Conformance levels are A, basic accessibility, AA, medium accessibility, and AAA, best accessibility. Most people aiming to build an accessible website try to reach the AA conformance level of the WCAG 2.0 or higher. This means that you satisfy all of the level A and AA conformance checkpoints. Let's start with the first principle, perceivable. The first guideline under the principle is called text alternatives, and its success criteria is called non-text content, which is level A. This says you should provide alternate text for images on web pages, unless they are there for decoration. Next is time-based media. This covers 9 success criteria that cover providing alternatives to pre-recorded audio and video, providing captions for the audio track in a video, and creating audio descriptions of body language, expressions, and movement. All these criteria are level A. After this, we come to adaptable. Success criterion sensory characteristics, level A, prohibits instructions for understanding and operating content relying on sensory characteristics like shape, color, size, visual location, orientation, or sound. So you couldn't tell a user to just press the square button to continue and the round button to cancel, for example. You would need some form of an additional text label. The final guideline for the perceivable principle is distinguishable. This covers 13 success criteria. Success criterion here specifies that color alone is not the only way to distinguish information. One way to fail this criterion would be to have a link color that is very similar to body text and not distinguish the link with an underline. This success criterion also recommends a minimum color contrast of 4.5:1 for standard text against background. For large text, the ratio is just 3:1. Success criterion images of text recommends using actual text rather than images of text where possible. Logos, of course, are the exception. Success criterion reflow says that users should be able to enlarge text without increasing line length. Content should reflow within the browser window. This can be achieved by using a responsive design. Now we're on to principle 2, operable. And the first guideline is keyboard accessible. Success criterion keyboard says that all content should be accessible via keyboard. The second operable guideline is enough time. Success criterion timing adjustable says that users must be able to turn off, adjust, or extend the time for time-based tasks. Success criterion pause, stop, hide says that users should be able to pause, stop, or hide content that moves, blinks, scrolls, or auto-updates for more than 5 seconds. An example of failure would be a video that autoplays without controls to stop it. And let's face it, none of us like that. The next guideline is about seizures. Success criterion 3 flashes or below threshold mandates that web pages do not contain content that flashes more than 3 times in 1 second. The next guideline is navigable. This covers 13 success criteria. Page titled suggests that web pages have appropriate descriptive titles. Success criterion link purpose recommends creating links whose purpose is determined by the link text or the surrounding context. Success criterion headings and labels says that content should be described by headings or labels. Success criterion focus visible means that a keyboard focus indicator, usually a border, should be visible on the page when the keyboard is used. Input modalities is next, and its success criterion is label in name, which means the visible text for controls should match their accessible names. Next is principle 3, understandable. We start with readable. Success criterion language of page says that the language of a web page should be defined in its source code. This helps screen readers to read out the page correctly. Success criterion language of parts recommends that words or phrases in a foreign language be marked up as such. The next guideline is predictable. The success criterion for that is on focus. This says that changes of focus should not initiate actions. For example, using the tab key to navigate to a submit button on a form should not submit the form. Success criterion on input is next. This says that input changes should not initiate unexpected changes on a web page. An example of this is if a user types in an input field or checks a checkbox, that should not then complete a checkout process. Success criterion consistent navigation says navigation across a website should be the same on all pages. Next is input assistance, and its success criterion is labels or instructions. This recommends putting descriptive labels for form fields in close proximity to them, or adding instruction to complex forms. And finally, we come to principle 4, robust. And the first guideline, compatible. Success criterion name role value recommends having interactive elements like forms and buttons properly labeled for assistive technologies. This benefits users of screen readers, screen magnifiers, and speech recognition software. If this all seems like a lot and is extremely dry, it's because it is. But if you want to learn more about website accessibility, you should check out these additional videos in our accessibility playlist or visit alliprogeeks.io.